Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to unbox the Resin Mold Box March 2026 Hello Spring collection. I'm very late in showing you this box, but I'm also very excited as there are some great molds in here and I can't wait to share them with you. Very excited to open this one. I do love getting these beautiful pink parcels in the mail. So, this is the lovely new packaging that Resin Mold Box has. I really think it's pretty. And we've got Hello Spring, the Secret Garden Awakening. March box is your golden key to a hidden world. Beautiful. Now in Australia it is autumn, and so different, opposite to a lot of you I know, but I'm still super excited to see what we've got. Okay. So, the Secret Garden Awakening is your golden key to a hidden world. After a long winter, the garden is finally stretching its wings and blooming with magic. That sounds lovely. So, the first one is a mechanical hummingbird wall art. Okay, so I'll just take some of these out and I can see this one. Excuse the rustling. All right, so what makes it mechanical? So there's the mould volume for you and the suggestions from Ella on how you could do it, and it's a centerpiece featuring a stunning fusion of intricate gears and delicate feathers. Oh, okay, gotcha. So like a steampunk hummingbird. Oh, okay, so one of the ideas is steampunk style, so that will be gorgeous. Well, I think hummingbirds are very, very beautiful. All right, number 2, Playful Panda Propagation. Say that quickly 5 times. Playful Panda Propagation Station with 2 clear tubes. Okay, that's the mould volume there, and these are the suggested finishings. So let's have a little look. Okay, so this is it's a beautiful soft mould. This is the Panda, and that is where you pop the little tubes in, and here are the 2 tubes. As always, Ella gives us not just lovely moulds, but the accessories as well. Okay, number 3, Wise Ancient Sea Turtle Secret Box. You've got your mould volumes there, and then an idea of what it could look like. So it is a 2-part mould, and so it has so that will go that way, and that must just go over there. Gorgeous. That's going to be super cute. Looking forward to making that little one. Okay, now we've got a glowing meadow hen figurine and planter, and here is your mould volume, and there is, oh look, I love it. That is so cute. Okay. Oh, it's just adorable. I'm terrified of roosters and chickens and lots of other larger, like farming type birds, geese, swans, ducks, turkeys. But I think they look very cute when they're like this. So that is gorgeous. Okay, next page. Farmhouse Woven Texture Treasure Basket. So here's our mould volume, and there is an example. Oh, wow. So this is a little egg holder, and you can do it with a matching hen. So that could be something that I do. Pop the hen with it. So here we go. Okay, so look at that. Do you know what that'd be cute for? You know, if you're making something with eggs and it says room temperature, so you could have this on your kitchen bench with your eggs in it getting to room temperature. I like that a lot. Next, we've got Transforming Forest Sprout Mushroom Set. Here's your mould volume, and here are the images, and I've never ever seen anything like this before. I wonder why it says it's transforming. So it's a magical two-piece transformer set featuring a wide 15 centimetre textured cap, and this is the cap. And yes, it's got all lovely sort of ribbing and a pattern there. Okay. And then a hollow 8 centimetre stem, which is this. So this goes on to that. But they're also saying you can flip them around and use it as a raised jewellery tray or a trinket dish and use the other for storage. So, goodness me, that's a bit exciting. All right, and our lucky last, which is our extra bonus. Here's your mould volume and Home and Spring Birdhouse hanging plaques, set of 2, and then the pictures for them. So we've got some twine, and then we've got the mould. Okay, so these are super cute. One says spring and one says home. If I turn them around, you'll see that a little bit better. And they've got the most dear little birds in there. And then I think the idea is that after you pour them, you can then put the string through and hang them. And then Ella's included lots of other ideas there as well. And then we've also got, I have to put my mushroom piece here. We've also got some super cute little inclusions. So some absolutely gorgeous stars, silver holographic stars, and then these beautiful little flower, they're like the little clay shapes. So I can't wait to make all of these, and I'm just going to get started right now. The first mould I've decided to work with is this gorgeous hummingbird. So in the description, it was talked about as being a mechanical hummingbird mould with intricate gears and delicate feathers built into the silicone, and I really felt I had no choice but to use these gorgeous chrome and chameleon powders, and just to, you know, give it that little metallic edge to hopefully make it look a little more mechanical. So I'm just using a soft little makeup brush, dipping it into each of the pots, and then just burnishing it in. So dusting it on first and then going over it, making sure it's pressed into all the areas. And my plan is just to use 4 or 5 different colours at the most, but to repeat colours in certain areas just so it makes it look all the one, you know, theme. And then I'm going to fill it in with a black or very dark coloured resin, because in my experience that shows up these beautiful metallics and chameleon and colour changing shifting powders the best. And the thing I love about this technique is that you can be pretty much as messy or as neat as you like, and you will still get a great finish. So I'm going for a very blended finish with this one. So next we've got our 2 cute little wall plugs, our spring and home, and I've decided to do them similar but different. It'll be a very subtle difference, and I'm going to make sure that I really try and highlight the letters and then the little flowers and everything, and do a frame. I'm trying to stick with fairly light, pretty pastel-y colours for the spring theme, and I also want to make sure that it's just a really light and pretty. So the birds each get a slightly different colour, and the frames are slightly different colours, but you'll just have to wait to the end to see how they turn out. And yeah, then I've got the twine that came in the kit. So once they are demolded, I can actually put the thread through them and hang them up. I really enjoy using this technique with clear silicone moulds, because you can turn it over and sort of get an idea of what you're looking at through the back. And yeah, so when I'm happy with that, it is now time to start pouring some resin. I've got these gorgeous black holographic colour changing, all of the things, cellophane glitter or shards. I'm not quite sure what you would call it, but it is very eye-catching and pretty, and I thought that this would be really lovely as the background, because if any of the parts of the hummingbird have been missed with the chrome powders and chameleon powders, then this will show through and look really pretty. So I'm using the Solid Solutions resin that I've just popped up on screen here, and I'm just making sure I've mixed it well, and then I'm going to pour it in and hope that we get a great result. Even though I'm working on a levelling board, I did have to pop a couple of little paddle pop sticks under parts of the mould. I could just see that the resin was moving in one direction more than another. So onto our little Panda mould, and I've got some black glitter here, and I've mixed in those gorgeous silver stars, and they're the ones that came in this box. Mixing it all together carefully, spraying the inside of the mould, because it does have some really intricate little sections. And I'm also adding a couple of drops of the school glue, Elmer's school glue, just to try and suspend the glitter in place a little bit, so that it doesn't all just sink down to the bottom of what I'm casting. Next, I've got some, I was trying to think of a really pretty spring sort of colourway. I've got a couple of these shaker jars of different glitters. You know, they have little stars and other shapes in all pretty colours. So mixing that together, and this is going to be my background for my little plaques. And I'm just hoping that this brings a nice bright spring feel to everything. So I'm really happy with how these are going so far, so I'm going to set these aside to cure. And I do have a little bit of each of the resin mixtures left over, so I'm going to pour a few extras, which you'll get to see in a moment when I demould these. This fast cure resin from Solid Solutions is so rewarding to work with, because within 4 hours you can demould the items, and in about 8 hours they are super strong. So you can see your results quite quickly. So I had a couple of little turtles. Now those I'd actually done with some of the chrome powders before. And then I've also poured some little zoo animals, some turtles, and some more turtles. I'm just trying to think. And then this funny little sort of a beehive with some of the little coloured flowers that came in the kit as well. So let's have a look at these little plaques. So they have turned out very, very cute. So we've got the home and the spring, and as you can see, I've made them so that they look similar, but they're each a little bit different, but very, very cute. Next, we're going to have a look at the little panda mould that I did with the starry glitter, and yeah, not loving it. It's a matte mould, unfortunately, and the details are just completely lost in the resin. I chose the glitters and everything, so I'll have to remake that one and see if I can improve. And then it's time to have a look at our hummingbird, and I'm very excited. I am absolutely loving these glittery chameleon flakes from the back, but of course the front is where I'll see if the chrome worked, and it did. There are just a couple of little overspills there, but look how beautiful he is, and I'm really happy with the colours I chose. Okay, time to switch up from using epoxy resin to some EcoCast, and of course I'm using the Solid Solutions SolidCrete, and I'm going to just use it as it is. So it's a 3:1 ratio. And what I do is I have a look at the measurements that Ella has given us in the little sheet that comes with each kit, and I look at how many mils each mould takes. I multiply that by 1.9, and that gives me the total amount of product I need to fill each mould. So once I know that, I then divide that amount by 4, because as I said, this is a 3:1 ratio, and one of those parts of 4 will be water and 3 of those parts will be powder. And then I mix them together and we get this beautiful bright white, and these will be cured in less than an hour, and they're very low bubble mixtures. And yeah, I'm making sure that I do everything I can, of course, to eliminate the chance of air pockets. So you can pour slowly, pour about half the first time, go in and gently squeeze, tap, move, wriggle, jiggle, vibrate, all of the things to try and encourage air bubbles to come to the surface. Once I'm happy with those two, it's time to have a look at our mushroom mould. So we've got the tray part, or the cap of the mushroom, depending on which way, and the stalk of the mushroom or the jar, whichever way you're looking at it. And I'm also going to use the Playful Panda Propagation Station mould again, this time obviously using an EcoCast mixture rather than resin, just to see how the mould looks in that way. And of course I don't have to wait very long at all, just an hour, and we can see what we've got. I did have a little bit left over in that last pour, so I've popped some into this very cute little house mould. Now it's time to check out the Panda and see if it is better suited perhaps to EcoCast. And goodness, you can see so much more detail now. This is why I love having lots of different types of casting materials at my disposal, because this is to me one that's not so great in resin, but the EcoCast looks brilliant. So let's have a look now at our mushroom cap. And this is beautiful. It's very detailed. So again, this can be used just as a little tray on its own. And then we've got the stalk or the vase to sit underneath, whichever way you want to go. And this is lovely too. It's a little bit irregular shape, and I'm guessing that was to do with me perhaps not checking the mould before I poured, but it sort of fits with the theme, I think. You know, mushrooms come in all sorts of little shapes and sizes, and yeah, I can definitely see the possibilities for this. It really is quite versatile, and you could pop anything in the little vase. You can have the little lid on it or have it up the other way. And yeah, so this is a super cute mould. Okay, next, let's have a look at the Farmhouse woven texture basket. So this is, I'm expecting, going to be quite highly detailed on the edges, and it's so smooth on the inside, very crisp. And yes, the outside does have that gorgeous basket look, so really happy. And I'm ridiculously excited about opening the next one with our little hen, because look, oh my goodness, so detailed. Oh, I've got a tiny little air pocket there on the wing, but that could be sanded out very easily. And so you've got these two together. So cute. Okay, the last mould is a two-part, and it is the Wise Ancient Sea Turtle Secret Box. So the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw this was verdigris. So verdigris, like the appearance of this statue, is the natural patina that develops on certain metals like copper, bronze and brass over time. And it's a chemical reaction between the metal and the air and the moisture and things like that. And it's such a distinctive look. The verdigris colours are normally a gorgeous bluey green, but it depends on the, you know, environment and the metal and things like that. But to me, I just imagined this ancient turtle that over time it has developed this amazing appearance of this ancient sort of turquoise, deep green and a coppery brown patina, and yeah, really earthy tones. So to achieve that type of a look, I'm using a few different mica powders from the Solid Solutions range, and to start off with, I'm just tapping a little bit of them over the mould. This is going to give a sort of almost a rusty effect, I'm hoping, you know, add a little bit of texture. Now I'm tinting 4 different cups of the white eco casting solution. I've got these liquid colorants, and I'm aiming for a colour theme all the way through, but a bit of variety in it. And I want to make sure that at least one of these colours is shared between both the top and the bottom to make it more of a cohesive set. I don't know what was going on the day I poured this. I have got mess everywhere, but it's fine. You only have a few minutes to work with eco casting solutions normally, so I have to get all of these different layers and swirls in, and then I give it a little bit of a swirl with the paddle pop stick and a little bit of a shake, and the lid's done. Now for the base, I'm adding in this brown pigment, and I'm hoping that that will give a sort of a leathery skin look for the turtle, along with these verdigris patina colours. So just putting all of that in together again. And so we've got a couple of colours that are similar in both the lid and the base, and I'm hoping when we get to demoulding you'll see that all the way through. I absolutely enjoyed cleaning my workspace down after this because it was a mess. All right, so around about an hour later, I'm able to demould. There were just a couple of little extra pieces there, along with quite a few tips for either using to fill up moulds in the future or for terrazzo work. So I am so hoping that we get this gorgeous verdigris appearance, and fingers crossed, and I just love it. It's exactly what I hoped it would be. Now I'm giving the base a little wipe because sometimes you will get excess pigment and it can come off on your hands. Okay, let's have a look. And it worked perfectly. So we've got this brown base with all of that gorgeous green oxidized looking bluey patina over it. So I could not be happier. And on the subject of the mould itself, it is a really cute, functional little item. So you've got a decent little space in there, and it's very smooth, and then you've got this gorgeous textured lid that sits on there. And yeah, I would really encourage you to look at this mould. It's gorgeous. Okay, time to now finish off these little wall plaques. So I want to show you a little technique that would help if you struggle getting thread or wool or twine through holes. So grab a piece of jewellery wire or any wire that is easily bendable, and then what you're going to do is you're going to poke that through the hole, and then in the loop you're going to insert the item you want to pull through, and then as you pull the wire back, it will go with you. I would not have been able to do this without using this technique. So I'll show you again. Take your looped wire, poke it through, then through the loop, push your string or your whatever you're using, and then pull the wire back out, and it will drag that string with it. So just a little tip if that helps. These have turned out as 2 really cute little plaques. Okay, let's review this box. It is the March 2026 box, and yes, I'm late, but at the time of making this video, there was still a couple of these boxes left. So you can go on to resinmoldbox.com, and if you use my discount code of BlossyB, you get an additional 10% off at checkout. And yes, I would highly recommend this box. Just to run through each of the molds, the mushroom and vase set, gorgeous, and my goal is to paint these and show you in a future video how they look, and the same with the egg basket and the hen. Now I'm not quite sure, there's a little hole in the back of the hen, and so yes, you could put a little air plant in it or something, but you might tell me what you'd do with this little mould. Then we've got that turtle mould. Now I would love to make that again in resin and just see what sort of look we can come up with. The Hummingbird mould, beautiful. Just, I loved it as it was. The spring and home molds, the little wall plaques, I probably wouldn't do these again because it's not that season here. And the little Panda propagation station, oh my goodness, I need to sit down and do some painting and try and bring him to life. But all in all, gosh, these were molds I've never seen before, and I really enjoyed it. So I'll leave you with some photos of my creations, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. As I mentioned, I'm very behind in Resin Mold Box, and Ella is so thoughtful sending them to me. So I'm going to try and get the next couple out very quickly, and then I'll be up to date, and then I can start having a real play with these gorgeous molds. Bye for now.